let's go and get started with what we're going to go tonight. We did not finish up all of class 2, week 2 last week, so we're going to do week 2 and week 3 combined. I've already edited the file for the inside of the week 3 in-class exercise. There is a week 3 download and convert YouTube video to WMV. The step-by-step is here with a couple podcasts already. I already have the video for our in-class exercise already downloaded and converted. Not all of your presentations will possibly have a video or need a video, if that makes sense. It might not make sense to have a video in your final presentation. But I do want you to know how to do it, okay? So that's why I have the steps this week of how to do it in this folder. But that doesn't mean you have to have a video in your final presentation, all right? So if you're trying to reach to find one and you can't, don't worry about it. The week 3 assignment for this week, once you're finished, in fact 2 weeks from tonight, you should add 5 to 7 more slides to your presentation. You will be able to should add custom bullets, which we'll do that tonight, to at least 1 slide. A progressive disclosure on all slides, which we'll go over that tonight, what that is. And where there's bullets basically on any slide, you'll add progressive disclosure. Question?
Does it matter which slide you put this stuff on?
No, it doesn't. Then you'll insert, now this one here I want to mention before we go any further. Insert a YouTube video via WMV format into your PowerPoint. Again, you might be hard pressed to find one. If you can find one, that's great. If you can't, you're not going to be marked off. Does that make sense? So I do want you to practice doing it, even if it's not going to be in your final presentation, because when you're given presentations, you want to make sure that the video that you use in your PowerPoint is an embedded video, not a YouTube video. Now, even though you're going to go to YouTube, or I show you how to go to YouTube, download the video to your computer, convert it to a WMV video format. The reason I have you do that is if you're in a room that, number 1, doesn't have internet connection, it's not going to work. Number 2, if the internet connection stinks, like it does here on campus, then it's not going to work. It's going to be real choppy, and the YouTube video is not it's going to spin, basically. We've all seen those. So there is a step-by-step how to do that. If you don't get that fulfilled for your final project, don't worry about it, but I do want you to know how to do it. Some of you have already done step 4, but we're going to go over that again, adding a chart or a graph to at least 1 slide. A chart is basically, an example here I put is a chart listing the amount of ingredients in a cake. Most of your presentations, you might have to think a little bit. We'll have some type of data in there that can be converted to a chart, okay? Like ingredients, a step-by-step, exercising, a step-by-step, whatever, can be converted to a chart. Graphs might be kind of hard to do, so that's why I put a graph or a chart. Adding a different slide transition, we'll do that tonight. Example, from wiping it from left, wiping it from right. There's a whole bunch of different slide transitions we'll look at in a second. And then adding a sound clip to at least 1 slide, like the example I'm going to show you in a second, like an applause track at the end of the presentation. So for the rubric for this week, you're going to add custom bullet, sound. Now in the sound, if you have a video that has sound, that can complete both components, okay? But if you don't have video, you're definitely going to have to add some type of sound, and you can do built-in sound clips within the PowerPoint. That's fine, that's good enough. Slide transition, video, progressive disclosure, and a chart. Now here, some of you are submitting your PowerPoint each week in this folder. You don't need to do that. In fact, do not do that from here on out. Just put in here your name in the title, and in the message, I've completed. That's all I need to see. Okay, because I'm going to actually check your PowerPoint as I come around, because especially when you're adding video and sound, it can get like really huge. And EdNet's not going to, not EdNet, Eagle's not going to be able to handle the upload, okay? Does that make sense? So don't worry about uploading any of your PowerPoints from here on out at all. So let's go ahead and do this. In week 3, if everybody could go there for me, we're going to get started right with the in-class exercise tonight because we have so much to do on that. So if you'll go into week 3 in-class exercise, And while I'm presenting the final and what we'll be doing tonight in the in-class exercise, I want you to go ahead and do number 1 on the in-class, the week 3 in-class exercise. You're going to right-click on these files, right-click on every one of these files, and save link as, and put them on your desktop. Okay? The first one's a video file. The second one's a JPEG image. The third one is a week 3 a PowerPoint in class. That's the one you're going to start with tonight. And then here's the finished product, concol.pptx. So right-click and download these to your desktop while I'm going over the presentation, okay? That'll help get started. Once you've downloaded all of number 1, you're going to open up the week 3 PowerPoint, the one that's titled week 3. Open that up, do a Control-S, and save it on your desktop as we always do, first initial, last name, and then be sitting there because we're going to start on number 3 here in about 5 minutes, where we'll start with slide 6 and work all the way through slide 15 and complete the in-class exercise. But before we do that, go ahead and do steps 1 through 2 on your own. And what I'm going to do on the overhead is show you a finished product, and then I'll show you step by step how to go through slides 6 through 15. Yes?
I'm right-clicking it and getting a big menu
On which one are you right-clicking and getting a big menu?
Fi,
Do what now?
WIFI, the first one.
Just right-click on Wi-Fi JPEG and save link as. You're left-clicking. You just got to right-click. Yeah, right-click and then save link as.
I'm not getting it right.
Are you in Firefox or in IE? Yeah, you're in Internet Explorer, so you're going to get a different dialog than I am. Right-click on that file, and it's going to be Save Target As. Yeah, make sure you guys always use Firefox, because Firefox is the de facto browser for RBC Eagle. Okay, you want to always use Firefox with any learning management system. Yeah, right-click on every one of those files. You're in IE, so it's going to be Save Target As on all of them. Yep, Save Target As. You go to your desktop, click on your desktop, and save all 4 of those files. Okay? So I'll make sure everybody gets that. I'll just wait till everybody downloads all 4 of those files. You've opened up the week 3. Do a Control-S once you've opened it up on your keyboard and save it as your first initial last name. And then we'll get started. Week 3, right. So before I begin the demo on the overhead, I will make sure everybody has all 4 of those files downloaded. As soon as you've downloaded all 4 files, open up the week 3 PowerPoint, do a Control-S, and save it to your desktop as always, first initial last name. If you need help, let me know. I'll help you. On the left side of your computer, all the way up to the top. You have to scroll up with your scroll bar. Keep going. There you go. There we go. You're on desktop right now, and just click Save. And do that with all 4 of those files. So we do have a lot to cover, but you guys are going to finish it all. You're going to do it. Which file are we on? Number 3? Okay, save target as on all of them. Save. You're already on desktop. It remembers it each time. You don't need to click on it. It'll remember it. Just click Save. Yep, click Save on all of them. Okay, good. It's complete. Click Close. Now the last one, concol.pptx. Right-click, Save Target As. Just click Save. Yep. Good. Now as soon as this gets through downloading, go ahead and minimize your web browser, and you're going to double-click on the week 3 PowerPoint that's on your desktop. Nope, you just, yeah, close that one. No, you're good. Good. Minimize your web browser. Yep. Close that out. You're going to double click on the week 3 PowerPoint. Open it up, then Control S. It'll prompt you to save it. Might take a little bit. You have to do a file save as, it looks like. Yeah. Do a file save as. If Control S doesn't prompt you guys, because I had you save it to the desktop already, do a file save as. First initial last name. Make sure it's on your desktop. Anybody else need help on saving your files and opening up week 3 and renaming it to your name? Make sure to go and rename yours. You need to do a file save as on your desktop. You have to click on the file menu, save as, and then just rename it to first initial last name on your desktop. Okay, you need to click on the desktop on the left side. Double click on favorites, double click on desktop on the right there, and then click save. Okay, good? No, it's going to save on your desktop. You always want to work off your desktop. We talked about that the first week. You want to make sure you guys work off the desktop, because if you work off your USB drive, it can make it, it can ruin it faster, basically breaks it faster if you work directly off of it. But you can drag and drop it after you're done. Okay, you guys are good? How we doing here? Got it saved, good. How we doing here on this row? Everybody ready? First row, everybody ready? Okay. All right, so if you'll focus on the overhead, I'm going to show you, I don't want you to look at it on your computer. I'm going to show you on the overhead the final example, what we're going to do in just a second. Here we go. And I got the speakers on. This is what the end product will look like tonight. Progressive disclosure is what you're seeing right here. As I press my space bar, you can see the bullets moving and doing something. That's called progressive disclosure. I'm putting underlines on this slide of each one of the bullets. That's progressive disclosure. We did this last week. Remember the tabs? Progressive disclosure on this one, coming in one at a time on slide 5. We'll be adding this tonight on slide 6. We'll be adding a table, D-link and linksys. We'll be doing that tonight. We'll be adding a Smartart chart here, Smartart graphic in the diagram. Here we'll be inserting text boxes and then applying different effects to it. Password, IP range, and security on slide 8. Slide 9, progressive disclosure. I'm just bolding the text as I press the space bar. Slide 10 is the video you'll be inserting that you already downloaded.
Anywhere in your house, then you need to go wireless.
Slide 11, progressive disclosure again. Slide 12, custom bullets. See the little bullets on this that have the little Wi-Fi symbol? You've already downloaded that. That was a JPEG file that you guys downloaded to your desktop. We'll be doing that on slide 12. Here is a chart graphic, like an Excel chart. Be doing that. And here's the sound effect. That's a built-in sound effect that PowerPoint has, just one of the many it has built in. And so those are components we're going to go over tonight. So let me do this for you real quick. We'll do this step by step tonight. I think it'll be simpler for you to do it this way. So we're going to start, I believe, with on your one that you open, I had you rename. I need you to go to slide 6 that says RBC1 on the upper corner. Excuse me? Opening. That's, no, that's week 2. Okay, you need to be in week, did you download the 4 files in week 3 exercise?
I have a time.
On number 1, you're supposed to download all those files. Did you
Did
download?
all that.
Okay, we'll go ahead and minimize your web browser. Minimize it, the minus symbol. Okay. All right, so the one you want to double click on here is on the left side of your screen. Let's see, right there. No, that's not it. Right here. It looks like you've already done it. That one right there, maybe? Double click on that, see if that's it. Yep, that's the one. Scroll down to slide 6. Click on slide 6. Okay, everybody on slide 6 now? Double click on the note on the upper left corner. And we're going to do this together. It'll take a little bit longer, but I think it's going to be best. So double click. It says to add a 2x2 table with a beveled row 1 with some data. And then we're going to also add a footer with your full name and page number, except for the first slide. Okay? So it'll end up looking, let's scroll to that slide real quick, like this when we're done. Okay? We're going to add a table, D-link and links us, and then some data here. So first thing you want to do is go to the insert. Anytime you want to insert anything in PowerPoint, you go to the insert ribbon. Okay? And we're going to go over here, and we're going to go to the very left side where it says table, left click on where it says table, and just take your mouse and highlight, like I've done, 2x2. Now if you look on the overhead, you can, just highlight. You're not clicking on anything yet. You're just highlighting your mouse over this table. We're just going to do a 2x2 table. All right? As soon as you click on the 2x2 table, and it's like mine here, with your cursor or your mouse in the cell that mine's at, the bottom left box of the 2x2, just left click. It'll keep it in there. And what you want to do is, if you see where my mouse is, if you hover over and your mouse turns to the cross like mine, that's where you can left click and drag down that item like I just did. You're only going to be able to drag it though like I just did by making sure your mouse is hovered over this right here, this object right here of the table. It won't work if your mouse is in here or your mouse is in here or your mouse is here. It's got to be right here. Anywhere on these lines, these border lines will work. So left click, hold it, and drag it down. Okay? Everybody got that? And let's see here. We are actually adding a beveled row 1 with some data. So all I need to do is make sure that's selected. Go up here to the top here. And we're going to do a beveled row 1 with some data. Let's see here. Let's go back. Well, let's do this. This will be easier. Take your mouse and go down to the actual table. And highlight for me the first row. What I want you to do is this. Take your cursor and left click on the first cell here and drag over to the right to where it's highlighted, like mine. It's just highlighted, nothing special. Then you're going to go up here to the effects. And you're going to only select this first bevel right here, which you'll notice on mine is just beveling that first row. The second one it's leaving alone because we highlighted it. Okay? I'll do that again. To get the bevel on the first row only, put your cursor where mine is on the overhead in this first cell on the first row, because notice we have one row, we have 2 rows. Left click, drag over to select that row. Go up here to the effect here, cell bevel, and select this one right here. That's fine. Okay? And then left click on it. The data you're going to put in there is this right here on the overhead. Exactly what I have.
You're going to type that, though.
Type it in. Physically type it in with your fingers. Left hand, right hand. Yes, like this. You can do it. Do I need to zoom in?
Yeah.
Zoom in. Let's do it. How's that? Is that better? Oh, yeah. If you tilt your head back sometimes it'll look like that. That helps me doing that way sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Triple bifocals with double backflick binoculars. Okay, kind of look at me when you're finished, so I kind of won't know when everybody's done. If you're looking down, I know you're still typing, so that's all right. So only trick on this one while those are finishing is making sure on the table that you have your, technically if your cursor was anywhere in that first row, it would allow it to just apply to that first row. I had you highlight it just for example's sake, but if your cursor was just in that row anywhere on the first or second cell, it would have done the same function. All right? You can do just a cell too, you're right. You can do just a cell. The reason I tell you guys to highlight both is to make sure everything is selected right. Yep.
So if the cursor was in there, it would do just a cell then?
It would do just a cell right without highlighting it. And so the purpose of highlighting or, making this different than the second row is just to bring that out as a highlight to that table. Now you'll notice D-link is underlined with a red underline. You don't need to do this on yours, but if I was to present this slide right here, notice D-link underline red is gone when you go to present view. And all that's doing is PowerPoint is trying to think that's a misspelled word, okay, which we might want to spell like that, so we're going to leave it like that. Okay?
So how did you get rid of the red lines you just hit?
How do you get rid of it? Don't worry about it.
Okay.
No, just leave it. So when I went to present view, and does anybody remember if I want to start presenting on this slide, what's the keyboard command? It's not just F5, it's one other key besides F5 on that current slide. Just guess. Nope. Keep going. Nope. Nope. Keep going. Keep going. It's your shift key. So who said shift key? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. All I heard was control and alt. All right, so shift F5 brings up just that one slide that I'm on, or that you're on currently. All right. So we are now, control S on that slide for me if you would. Control S. And I'm going to put my information in here real quick. D-Link Linksys, $100. And I'm just going to put some, I don't know. I'm not going to do any special formatting yet to this. Okay? Now, the other thing we have to do on this slide, and the other slides, we're going to add a footer with the full name and page number, except for the first slide, and it's going to end up looking like this. Full name and page number, except for the first slide. And so all you need to do on this one is go up to the Insert, Header and Footer, check mark the footer checkbox, make sure your full name's in there. Also make sure slide number is checked, and don't show on title slide is checked. Then you're going to do apply to all once that's done. Okay? So make sure yours looks just like mine, except you're going to have your name here. So slide number check, footer check, don't show check, apply to all. Okay?
Not putting the date, we're just putting the name.
Yeah, just put what I have here right now is fine. Because I don't think I have the, did I have the date in the note? I don't think I did. So we'll just do what I have here. So slide number, footer, don't show on title slide, make sure your name's there on the footer, and go ahead and do apply to all. And then it should do that. To confirm it, you can just maybe go to slide ahead and behind to make sure that that looks good. All right, so we got that. Control S. Everybody good so far? That's completed slide 6. Now we're ready to go to slide 7. Let's look at the note on slide 7. We're going to insert a Smartart diagram with these 3 words, cable, DSL, and router. It'll end up looking like this. or some other diagram you want to choose, that's fine. All right, this is a designed Smartart graphic. So let's go ahead and go to I'm going to insert a Smartart graphic, and let's see here. We'll select any, let's see which one I want to select here. Cycle, let's do a cycle. Okay, so we're going to do a cycle, and let's select this basic cycle. Click OK. And now you'll see the text show up, and we're going to replace this text with some information. Cable, DSL, and routers are only 3. So notice I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. I only need 3. So I'm going to get rid of some of these. I'm going to start at the top and put cable, DSL, and router. Okay, these bottom 2, I'm just going to hit the backspace to get rid of them. And then that existing text I have in here, this existing text I have in here, I can actually get rid of this whole text box. Okay. And then I can move this around anywhere I want to on the slide to reposition it, like so. Okay, I will do it again from beginning. All right, so there's my original. I go to Insert. Then I go to Smartart Graphic. I go to Cycle. If you wanted to choose one of these other ones, that's fine. I'm just going to choose a basic one, basic cycle, that represents a continuing sequence of stages. Click OK. I'm going to put in my text here, cable, DSL, and router. Now, if you just hit the Enter key, it'll take you to the next one. You will need to go and delete the other ones, though, when you're finished. So if I take my cursor here and put it on the last bullet and just hit the backspace key till everything's gone except for what I need it. Okay. Now, it's kind of tricky here. On this text box that's here right now, if you take your cursor and click on the box itself, then hit the delete key on your keyboard, it's going to get rid of that. Also, this one here, I might want to get rid of that just to save confusion. That's actually from the master template. So anytime you want to get rid of an item in a PowerPoint slide, the trick is this. The outer item, the outer border with the little crosshairs, once you're selected that, then you hit the delete key, it gets rid of the object altogether. Then to move this, again, select it, and you'll notice where I'm dragging this, how I'm dragging it. On the upper corner here, it could be on any one of these borders though. I'm just doing it right here because that's how I normally select it. To resize it, if you look on the overhead, if yours is a little too big, like mine maybe, I can drag any one of the corners, put my cursor over any one of the corners, left click, and drag down. It'll resize that object. Let me see how you're doing on that.
Yeah, I noticed there was no delete drop-down menu.
Nope, there's not.
So now it's gonna be better.
Okay, put your cursor on the edge of that till it turns across there. Left click, hit the delete key. Delete key. You hit the enter key. Okay, select it again, delete key. Make sure you selected the actual object. Kind of move it up and drag it up and down to make sure you've selected it. Okay, now delete key. Okay, select this one as well, where it says click to add text. Delete key. There we go. It's kind of tricky deleting those objects, but once you do it the first time, you're okay. Looks like you guys are getting it. Yeah, it is tricky. Just click on the text box. Yours is dotted line, so you've not clicked on it yet. You got to be on the actual line itself. Left click on it, hit the delete key.
What did I do wrong?
Okay. Go and do it again. Hot over it. Left click. Left click. Delete. Nope. Delete. You're right clicking and left clicking. You want to just. Okay. Left click once. Release your mouse. Hit the delete key. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm scared it's gonna delete my whole thing.
Nope. And then you can move your object
Okay.
down to where you want it. Good.
Make it pause.
You don't. She doesn't need to delete. You don't need to delete to click to add text if you don't want to. Okay, here you go. Good.
It's fine. Well, it doesn't look like yours now. It looks
Yeah, no. Okay, good. Anybody else need help? Good, good. Looks like we got that. So this is used a lot, and it is beneficial when you're using something in a presentation to where you want to show movement, you want to show a diagram that shows continuation of a project possibly, project management. Control S on that one. We're done with that. Let's go to slide 8. Slide 8, we're going to insert 3 text boxes. We're going to add text, which is going to be password, IP range, and security. Resize it. Apply some effects. Rotate. And then there's a circle, I'll show you, on each text box that you can move to move that text box around. So let me show you this one real quick. I'll show you maybe on the first one, then you can do it. How's that? So let me go ahead and show you that. I'm going to go to Insert menu. Then we're going to go to Text box. You want to make sure when you insert a text box that you have a white area that you get ready to click. See that my cursor's turned to that little bar? If I left click here, I now have some information, and I want to put in here the password. I'm going to highlight that and copy it. And I lost, there it is. It's kind of tricky. It's better to have it ready like I didn't have ready. Now, when you select this, all you need to do is do a Control V, and it'll put that word in there. Okay. Then I'm going to make it a little bit bigger text than what it is, maybe like a 28 point. Resize the text box to where it fits it a little bit. Then you'll notice here where it says Drawing Tools. Everybody see that? If I click the format, now I'm going to add some effects to this, some shape effects to this. So let's do a, let's see, I want to do my, yeah, here we go. We'll get a 3D rotation. We can do different ones. It doesn't matter which one you do, as long as you kind of know how you. Let's see which one I want here. I want a different diagram. This rotation one's going to look good. We'll do that. We'll do the rotation, parallel rotation. Okay, now you see this little circle here. On this, here's where you can move your text box around once you've put your effect that you want on it. Okay, so that's the first one. Now you'll notice whenever I click on it, it brings it back to where I can actually edit that text. Now what's going to be easier is basically once you get the first one done, is just you can actually highlight the second one, IP range, copy it, go up to Insert menu again, text box, Control V to paste it. Then you can actually go right into the sizing of it, make it a little bit bigger maybe. And then we can go to Format. Maybe do this a little bit different. The squiggly one too, maybe you want. Let's see. Now we'll do that one. I'll bring that one up to the second one. There's my second one. And then finally my third one, highlight that, copy it, insert again, text. Let's make it a little bigger. Go back to my formatting. We'll do that one. This one, I'm going to leave it just like it is. Too much in there. All right. So, play around with that. You don't have to use any of the formats I use. It could be something different. Just play around with the different formats that are available. Because what you're doing basically on this one is just adding some type of effect to it, text effect, rotate it at some point. Some of these you might not be able to rotate because it might not be able to fit. But to rotate it, basically, the little green circle, when you left click, you can move it around anywhere you want to on that slide. Okay? And again, you have to play with it to get used to it. It's not something you're going to get just the first time, so take your time, and I'll walk around and help you. And you won't use it a lot, but it is good to know how to do it. Okay? Do I?
Which number slide are you on?
We are on slide 8 currently right now. We're going to go to slide 9. Slide 9, there is nothing to do on that one. Slide 10, double click on CK11 is add video, CK15 is have video play upon coming to the slide. Okay, I had you download the video, remember? If you look here in the middle of your slide, all these objects, one of the objects is insert media clip. Click on insert media clip. You're going to browse out to your desktop where you downloaded that video file, and it should be wifi.wmv. I've got it highlighted on the overhead. If you downloaded it, it's going to be on your desktop, remember? Wifi.wmv. Click insert. And we also want to make sure that this plays when it's on click automatically. I'm going to change it from on click to automatically. All right, so I'll do it again. Okay, so again, the insert media clip, go to your desktop, click on the wifi.wmv, click insert. Then what you want to do is you should have 2 tabs up here if you look on the overhead, a format tab and a playback tab. Everybody see that? Click on the playback tab, change it where it says on start. You want to change it from on click to automatically, meaning when it comes to the slide, it's going to play it automatically. Okay?
Automatically or on click?
Automatically. So I have it on the overhead for you, so make sure yours says on the playback tab, start automatically. So all you did is insert the video, change it to automatically. And let me stop there for just a second. You want to make sure on PowerPoint, when you're inserting video, it's always a WMV format. That's a Windows Media Video File format. There are other formats you can import, but that one will always work with PowerPoint. If you import, say, a WMOV file, which is a QuickTime file, you have to have QuickTime Player on that machine. Okay? So if you insert video on PowerPoint, always make sure it's converted to a WMV format. In the tutorial for this week and week 3, I'll give you the step-by-step how to do that. Okay? How to download the video from YouTube, how to convert that video to a WMV video format. Okay?
Is there a way to check? Like, I've got my thing here on the computer. Is there a way to look at that video that's already embedded and see what format it's in?
Once it's embedded, if you right-click, there is a format video option, but it doesn't give you the type of video it is. It will not give you the type of video it is. So that's why it's important to kind of know prior what type of video, because once you embed it, there's real no easy way to determine that. So just make sure it's a WMV format. Okay, now let's do this. Do a shift F5 on your keyboard on that slide. If everything's right, it should start automatically, like mine's doing.
If you want the freedom to work.
Now you won't hear sound maybe because you don't have speakers,
You go wireless.
but it should start playing in the background there on your slide. Okay?
Find a router with
Okay, hit the escape key. That is video slide. We're done with that. Control S, go to slide 11. Double click on the bullets there, or the note. We're going to add custom bullets. Here we're going to add different types of bullets. Is this the right slide? Slide 11. I think I want to do that on slide 10. Yeah, I'm sorry, go to slide 12. Slide 12 will do custom bullets, not slide 9, not slide 11. Add custom bullets. We're going to use that Wi-Fi.jpg. And also on this one, we're going to add progressive disclosure to every slide in this presentation that has one or more bullet points. So let's do the first one. What you want to do is highlight all of these items from none down to hide beaconing. It currently has a bullet points in there that's a default bullet points selection for PowerPoint. We're going to add a custom bullet of that Wi-Fi symbol. Okay? So once you've highlighted all the text in that bullet selection, go to the Home tab. Let's go over to the paragraph group. There's a drop down to the right of the bullets. My mouse is pointing on it right now. Click on that drop down. We want to go all the way down to where it says bullets and numbering, and then picture. I'll do that again. You highlighted all the text. Go to the Home tab. Drop down on the bullets, bullets and numbering, click on the picture button. When you click on the picture button, bottom left button says import. Everybody see that? Click on the import button. You're going to go to your desktop like we did with the video. This time though, we're going to grab the picture that says Wi-Fi.jpg. Click on that Wi-Fi.jpg, click add, and it should highlight it like mine on the overhead. Okay, and then click OK. And now it's going to convert those bullets to the Wi-Fi symbol. You can do that with any image that you import into PowerPoint and convert that bullet point to a custom bullet. Now, those bullet points will now be available on this machine for all of your presentations from here on out. It will not carry over this bullet point, though, to other machines. So if you move this, it'll be in the presentation and embed it in the presentation, but it won't be there for a new PowerPoint, if that makes sense. And so it's just for this presentation, it'll be there for you and embed it. Okay, so that's how to do the bullet points. The next one is adding progressive disclosure. What that means is, if you look on the overhead real quick, I'll switch over to the finished one. Progressive disclosure is right here, where slides or bullets come in one at a time. That's progressive disclosure. So what you're going to do is, you're going to basically have to go to slides that have bullets. We'll just start on the slide we're currently on right now, which is slide 12. Select that text box, like I've just done. Go to Animations, and then I want you to select, it's on none right now. I want you to select a progressive disclosure just by highlighting these animations. Use something simple like an appear, fade, fly in, or float in, either one.
So any of these
Anyone.
would be progressive disclosure.
Exactly. Any one of these will be progressive disclosure. Now there is more options that you can go into later. Okay? But we'll just do something simple here. We'll do these first 4 available to us. I'll go ahead and do the fly in. Once you like the one you want, just select it, click on it, left click on it once, and notice how it puts numbers here. What this means is it's going to show up on the slide in that order. Slide 1 or progressive disclosure 1 all the way to 6. Okay? Control S. Now let's go ahead and look at some other slides that have bullets that we can play with. Let's see, we have slide 8 we can do it on. Slide 9. slide 3, slide 2. So anywhere that has bullets, we can do progressive disclosure. You have to just click on the text box first. You don't have to highlight the text, just click on the text box.
Is it supposed to give you more than just number 1 if there's more bullet points?
Yeah, there's more than one bullet point. If you look on the overhead as I'm going through these, it gives you the succession. Like here only has 1, and you'll notice when I select it, it just puts the 1 by it. Okay? And it'll do that for you. There's nothing real magical about it. You just select the text box, select the animation, hover over the animations that you want to test, and then when you get the one you like, left click on it, and it will remember that. Now let's do this, Control S, F5 on your keyboard. Let's go through our presentation so far, what we've got. Just kind of spacebar through it to make sure your progressive disclosures are working on your presentation. All right. How are we doing? Doing good? All right.
Didn't have them come in automatically, so
Oh, mine didn't either, Ed, is that
as you enter space bar each one for.
You have to spacebar each one. You have to space bar each one.
When you open the slide, it's just they automatically.
No, you did one at a time. Progressive disclosure means as you press the space bar, it comes in. You wouldn't want it to automatically do that because you would advance to a level maybe you're not ready to cover yet on the PowerPoint. So you want to control that with your space bar. That's a good point though. Yeah, it doesn't come in automatically. It doesn't mean though, you can set up your PowerPoint to set up in kiosk mode, time everything to where it does come in automatically, like for a conference or something. You can do that as well. But for this, for our use, we're going to use it manually. Okay. Now, one of the things I want to mention too, notice on this slide, was it slide 8? We added these objects, remember? Notice how they didn't come in progressive disclosure because they're not bullets, but that doesn't mean you can't add animation to it. So if I go to slide 8 here, if you want to go with me on it, I can click on these individual items, okay? Notice now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but what if I want to name these and change these, okay? I want to change these around a little bit. I can actually edit this progressive disclosure by clicking on the text box. So let me click on the text box. I want to reorder my animation. And notice how I click this, I can reorder it this way, or I can actually just click on an item here and maybe make it a different number. Let me go to my preview here real quick. I want to make sure I can preview it on an option. Just a second here. My preview option here is not showing up here. There we go. Go there. And let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and make this be 1. And this 2. Animation here. Okay, right now this one's what, 4? I want it to be earlier. I want it to be what, 2? Well, that would be 2. I want this one to be 3. I want this one to be 4. I want this one to be 5. That one to be 6. Let me see if that's right. Let me test it to make sure. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you click on each one of the items, all you do is click on the item you want to change, then go up here to move earlier or move later. You'll notice here, mine's at 2. If I go later, it moves it to 3. If I go earlier, it moves it to 2. Okay? So as you click on the progressive disclosure, you can click on each item and go to move earlier or move later to modify your objects as they fly in. Okay? So that's progressive disclosure.
What if you would move those around with the numbers, go with those?
Yep, numbers to go. So if I move this around anywhere on my screen, it moves with it. Yep, good question. Okay, so let's go now to, what slide are we on here? Slide 14. Slide 14, we're going to add a chart of 1 column and 4 rows, and here's what it'll end up looking like. Slide 14, 1 column, 4 rows. We're going to add a chart here. Okay, so notice at the bottom, we've got insert table, insert chart, insert Smartart graphic, picture, art, clip art, and media. Which one are we going to choose, do you think? Chart, right. So I'm going to click on chart, and let me make sure I've got this right. It's going to be 1 column, 4 row. Okay. 1 column, 4 row chart, and we'll do that. We can just select this first one here is fine. It's column cluster. Click OK. All right. It brings up the data, notice on the left, on the right, the chart on the left. All you need to do is go in and modify the data here to fit the chart. So let me bring it up what it should look like at the end so you guys can see it. Let me bring up the data real quick. There we go. So what you want to do is change yours. I know it's hard to see. I'll see if I can blow it up for you here real quick. Change your chart to look like mine, if you could.
Mine's got different categories.
No, that's fine. You're going to change it to look just like mine.
Oh,
You're going to delete what you need to, delete what you need to delete, add what you need to add. You want to make sure it looks just like this. 2 columns and 4, and looks like 5 rows.
so
Make
just delete the
overwrite exactly right. Make delete whatever you need to do to get rid of the other stuff. Now, in order to delete things on your PowerPoint, let me go back. I know I switched here real quick. But in order to delete things, it's pretty easy on the data. All you do is basically you can overwrite it. In that case, I think all you're having to do is overwrite it, basically. Let me make sure I got the right one. There we go. So make sure yours looks just like that. Do what now?
Oh,
Yeah, you're going to change it to look like mine.
I just lost mine.
Hmm?
Mine threw me out.
Yeah, you're just going to basically change it to look like mine. If you,
Just kick this out.
it just what?
Just kick time out.
Okay, let me come around and help you. I'll keep that up there. You just need, you timed out of Eagles. Just exit. You don't need to be in the internet anyway right now. Just exit
Just
out.
exit out of there.
Yeah. Mhm. So make sure yours look just like mine. So you can go into column C. See where it says column C there? You guys can click on, right-click on column C and just delete. Right-click on column, right-click on the actual column itself and delete that column before you begin editing. There you go. Cool. Good. And you're going to change what? Series 1 is going to be changed to minutes, time with minutes in parentheses. So to delete a column, you just right-click on that column header, C, right-click on C, delete. And you'll have to delete a couple columns. Yeah, right-click on D. D. That's D. You need to right-click on the letter D. Right-click. Delete. Select delete. There you go. Right-click on column C. Do the same thing. And then make your data look just like mine on the overhead. Nope, no, don't you delete too much. Click OK. There you go. Make it look just like mine on the overhead. Once your data looks just like mine on the overhead, you can basically go ahead and just do a file menu, go up to the file menu on that chart,
File menu.
and just go ahead and close it, and it should update your data.
Both of the file, the spreadsheet or the,
Hmm.
Where'd it go?
No, there it is. No.
No. Do Control Z. Control Z again.
No.
Control Y. Control Y. Control Y. Oh, we're going to have to edit this one. Sorry.
Just click on it and I need to
Yeah, double click on it. Well, you should be able to double click on the actual chart itself.
Oh, maybe just start all over. Huh.
Where's your graph at? Edit data right there.
All right, I'll do it again.
Now just do this for me real quick. Just go ahead and make a change here, say test or something.
This one? Oh,
Yeah, and then basically when you get done with it,
oh, see, 'cause it's there.
yeah.
And then just, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, why it deleted that for you.
How did yours work?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
this thing,
don't
Chloe, I don't know if yours
know,
worked.
I don't know what it says.
We'll see if we
There
can
you
help you. Thank you.
Okay, you're doing good. Just keep editing.
Yeah.
Yep, put in the word setup right there. Your cursor has to be in there. There you go, good. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can just hit the X on this when you're finished. Can't really zoom in much more there. How you doing here? Got it, good. How you doing here, guys? Got it? How we doing here on this row? Good. We're almost done. You're doing good. Okay, good. All right, just go ahead now on that one and go ahead and just edit, leave the numbers as they are for right now, and just go ahead and hit the X. X. There we go. You're good. Just keep it right there. The top right X.
This one?
Yep.
Oh.
Just has the wrong slide. You can just copy that and move it to the next slide. Yeah, you just right click and copy it. Or right click and cut it and then move it to the next slide. Go to the next slide if you want to paste it. Just do a Control V.
Control V.
Control V is in Valentine. There you go. Cool. That'll work. All right, so we got the charts down. Okay, on the chart type, you want to make sure on the chart type, when you're ready to edit that chart, okay, again, when you're ready to edit it, expand out my document here. When you're ready to edit, you go up to the Design tab and Edit Data. We'll bring up that chart again, okay? When you make any change to those categories, okay, all you need to do, it remembers that it actually changes it here as you're typing in the chart. Look down here, right here on the overhead here on the left. If I change this to WEEE, it changes that. You don't need to save the chart itself. All you need to do is close out of the chart, okay, and modify it. That's it, okay? So that's it on that one. Let's go to the final conclusion slide. Control S, by the way, to save what you've just worked on. On the final slide, you're going to add slide transitions to every slide. Make sure they alternate, like left and right. And then finally, a sound clip, applause, animation, drum roll, whatever. Okay, to do animation, you need to be in this view here, slide sorter view, the 4-icon view, I call it, okay? When you're in slide sorter view, if you take your mouse and click on a slide one at a time, you have to go to animation first, or transition, I'm sorry. Go to that transition, like say start with slide 1, and like I'll do split on slide 1, slide 2, I might do reveal. Slide 3, split. Slide 4, reveal. And so you want to kind of alternate back and forth. You want to alternate back and forth on your transitions. All right, so just going back and forth, back and forth. You can go back, cut and fade. And as you hover over these, it'll show you the transition of each one of them. Let me exit out of that. And again, you've got to be in the slide sorter view to do this one effectively. One thing I guard against is you don't want to do one of these here where you basically say you select a transition and you can actually, with the transition, apply it to all. So I could do, like, say, for instance, let's choose one here, blind. And I could apply it to all. And then when I show that slideshow, it's going to have that blind on every slide. But you want to have it, you want to alternate it somehow and kind of keep it within the same family of transitions. And so it helps people follow along better if it's like that. If it's in the same, like left and right, right and left, right and left, cut and fade, cut and fade, cut and fade, back and forth like that. There is also a way you can randomize your transitions. I can do a Control-A and select all of these. And I could do a randomized transition on my slideshow. Random. There's a couple random items in here. Random bars. But I steer clear from selecting all the same. So I'll go ahead and do this one here. And if you want to stay on that top row, that'd be easier for you probably. If you do mess up on your transitions, if you guys do a Control-A while you're in this environment, notice how it select all of my slides. I can go up here and select none, and it will literally wipe all those transitions out. The reason you want to do that is this. Let's say I had a transition like doors on this one. Well, if I'm trying to do a cut and fade on everything, I do cut on this one, I go here, notice it jumps all the way to the doors row, and I have to drop down and go all the way back to fade to get it. So it takes a little longer to select it. And so if you want to wipe everything out easily, Control-A, none, will wipe all your effects out. You know your slide has an effect when it has a little star on the bottom left of that. Okay?
Now, when you wiped them all out, it's kept the effect there on 2, 3, and 6, it looks like.
Yep, because I still have them all highlighted.
But when you click none, it didn't remove them from those.
Let's see here. That's custom animation. Progressive disclosure. That's my progressive disclosure. So when you're finished product on this one, bring up my,
The audio.
Yep.
The audio, right?
yep, finish up the audio. Basically on that one, if you want, we'll test the audio and the transitions all at the same time. Okay, so if I go back to my slide sorter view and go to my last slide, okay, slide 15. We want to go ahead and add a sound to this. We just basically go to the any sound on here, anything on here. We go to this picture here if we want to, or you can actually be in the same view we were at, the slide sorter view. Select that very last slide. And we want to go to, it's actually going to be easier to do it the way I did it. Yeah, it's transitions, and we can select sound. Yep. I'll restart mine here because mine's messed up. So again, slide sorter view, the last slide, transition. Either that way or normal view is going to be the easiest way probably for you.
If we don't hear a sound, is it?
Oh, my ears. Okay. If you don't hear a sound, you don't have speakers. So I'll do the applause. So slide sorter view, or the normal view is going to be the best way to do it. And again, just select any blank space on the slide. Select the effect you want to apply to that. And so when you play that last slide, it shows up. Okay? So let's go and do an F5 on your presentation and run through to see how it looks. Once you're through running through it, you're not going to hear the sound on most of yours, but you should see the custom animation, transitions between the slides, progressive disclosure, your footer changes we added, the custom bullets are all in here, the chart, the graph, all in here. Once that all plays out to your final slide, make sure that's all complete. Make sure to go ahead and go to week 3, in-class exercise, and upload this presentation. You guys did a good job. Excellent job helping each other too.
So since we're not here next week, we're working on that homework, but we're really bringing it for week 5.
We're not here next week because of Thanksgiving.
Right, but then we're not, so we're working on what's in there for take home, and that was what we're gonna bring for week 5, no?
Nope, we're week 4 next time we're here.
Oh,
Because the college is closed, so we don't have our week 4 is 2 weeks from tonight.
okay.
And so on the schedule, let me go there real quick while you guys are saving your presentation and uploading it into week 3. Let me bring up our final schedule real quick between now and week 5. We're winding down here. Sounds good, whoever's that is. All right, so let's go to our week 3 we're currently in. Let's go over what you need to do 2 weeks from tonight. You actually have 2 weeks to work on this for the assignment. Is you're going to add 5 to 7 slides onto your presentation, custom bullets like we did tonight, at least on one slide, progressive disclosure on all slides where there's 2 or more bullets. You can also add custom disclosure on objects like we did tonight for the text boxes if you want to. YouTube video, if it's fitting for your presentation. If it's not, that's fine. I do have a step-by-step right here on the overhead on number 3. When you click on this link, it brings you to a step-by-step of how to do that. You will need Firefox for this one and some programs you got to download. Watch the podcast. It gives you a step-by-step how to do it. This one, you're converting the YouTube video to WMV format. adding a chart or graph to at least one slide, adding a different slide transition for all slides, adding a sound clip to at least one slide like your end slide. Rubric components for this week, or you actually have 2 weeks to finish this: custom bullets, sound, slide transition, video, progressive disclosure, and chart. And remember, do not submit your PowerPoint in here. Just put I've completed and that's it, because they're going to be quite large with the video. And let's forward fast now to week 4 is November 28th, 2 weeks from tonight. All right, next week, campus does not have any classes starting Wednesday evening on campus, no classes. And we have off till, so basically no class next week for us. November 28th, week 4. On that week, you guys will be going into, on your in-class exercise and also finalizing your presentation. The in-class exercise, you'll learn texture background, adding an action button, like starting up a calculator within PowerPoint. You'll learn how to do that. An action button to have a mouse over a picture, and it pops up a website and opens up a web browser. Hyperlinks, you'll learn that. And that's that week, week 4. And also in week 4, I'm going to be coming around making sure that you've got things pretty much checked off there on that list, because on week 5 is when you guys are coming in, and with just your row only, you're going to be presenting your, find your computer on your row that has working speakers. Everybody will test that computer to make sure that it works. We'll do together a package of your presentation to CD. You will take that home with you on week 5, by the way. Show you how to print out slides for your presentation, 4 slides per page. You'll give that to each person in your group. You'll present to each person in your group. Everybody in your group will fill out a peer evaluation in week 5 for each person. It's just like 5 questions. Were they awake? Did they look at you? Did they smile? Did they frown? Did they smell? No, just kidding. Turn in the CD and rubric. On step 6, I will grade it immediately. You guys will talk amongst each other, gather up your CDs. When you leave, you'll have the rubric with your final grade circled along with your CD to take home. So you'll know as you leave week 5 what your final grade is. Okay? Make sense? So you'll leave with a final presentation on a CD with your rubric, no questions on what your grade is. All right, any questions or thoughts? When are we meeting next?
28.
2 weeks from tonight. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much turkey. Have fun with your family and friends and neighbors. And be nice to each other.
Do we have to submit tonight's,
Excuse me?
do we submit tonight's in-class?
In-class, yes, definitely. You need to submit tonight's in-class exercise as always to get the points for the in-class exercise.
This